This lesson is on section 9.4 titled Slope. So we're going to go right ahead into what slope is, and hopefully this should be a review. The slope is used to describe how steep a straight line is. Kind of think of like what's the slope of a ski hill or slope of a mountain has how steep that is. It's the ratio of the rise or the vertical change to the run or the horizontal change. Slope is always constant. So whenever we talk about rise, that's a vertical change. When we talk about run, that's the horizontal change. When you're running, you're running horizontally, and to rise, you're going up or down. Okay, and the slope is always constant. So we can think of two formulas, and we've gone over this before. So hopefully this is a review. We can think of slope as kind of the rise divided by the run, that vertical change divided by that horizontal change, or we can think about it with this formula of y2 minus y1 using the coordinates that were given divided by x2 minus x1. So I'm going to use both of these in this video today, and you can choose whatever one you want to use. Totally up to you. So let's go right into the first example. It says find the slope of the treadmill. Okay, some of us have been on treadmills before, probably a lot of you, and we're looking at how steep is that treadmill. Because I'm not giving any coordinates here, I'm just going to use the idea of that slope of rise over run. Okay, so if we think rise, so is how much is that, how high is that? So that rise is going to be 10. How long, what's that vertical change? I'm sorry, that horizontal change is on my run, which is 48. So then I'm going to simplify. 10 divided by 48. I can cut these both in half to make it 5 over 24. And that's as far as I can simplify. So my slope here is 5/24. And that's kind of more that real world example, how we can relate this to something that you're, kind of used to seeing. So the slope of that treadmill, I'm going to just use rise over run. What's that vertical change divided by that horizontal change? So my next example, find the slope of the line that passes through -1, 1, and 2, 3. Okay, so those points A and B. I'm going to do it two different ways. I'm going to first do it with the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 example, and then I'm going to do the rise over run example. Okay, so all of what I'm saying is with this y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, this is my first x value. This is my second x value. This is my first y value. This is my second y value. That's how I'm labeling it. So when I'm plugging, now I'm just going to plug in those into the example. So y2 is going to be my 3 minus y1 is going to be 1. And that's going to be all over my x2 minus my x1. Okay, and now I just have to do everything in the numerator first, then the denominator, and then divide. So 3 minus 1 is 2. And then 2 minus a -1 is going to be 3. Remember, you can just kind of make this into a big fat plus sign. Okay, so I know my slope is 2/3. So then I'm done there. If you don't like that method and you rather would do the rise over run, that's totally okay. I'm going to kind of just erase this so I can see this a little bit better. If you're going to do the rise over run method with coordinates, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to graph it. So I'm going to graph -1 and 1. I'm sorry, let me just do this. -1, 1 is up here. And then I'm going to graph 2, and then 3 is here. So I have to figure out how many am I going up and how many am I going over. So I'm rising. I'm going to rise 1. It looks like I put that, hold on. This is 2, 3 is right there. Okay, so I'm going to rise 1, 2 spots, and then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3 spots over. I know it's kind of hard with that the graph I drew. So I'm going up 2 of my x values, and I'm running over 1, 2, 3 of my y values. So again, my slope is 2/3. So again, either way you want to do it, you can either graph it or you can either use the formula. So let's go to the next example. It says the points given on the table lie on a line. Find the slope of the line and then graph the line. So I'm thinking, okay, should I use this first example? Should I use the second example? Well, because I already have to graph the line, I might as well use that rise over run because I already have to graph it. So let's just do that. Save us some time here. So I'm going to graph. So I have -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go down 1. It'll be here. And then 0, -2 is going to be here. Let me do a different color so it can stand out a little bit more. And then 4, -3 is going to be down here. And then 8, -4. It looks like I am running off my screen. But you know what? I don't even have to really graph that last one. Well, because it's going to just be the same line. So I'm actually just going to stop right here. So I'm just going to kind of focus on these 3 points. Doesn't really matter to graph all of them. You have to just have graph at least 2. Or I would say graph at least 3. So now I'm going to pick any 2 points and try to find my rise over my run. Okay, so I'm going to kind of focus on these 2 points. So I need to go, first my rise is how much am I going up or down. So I'm going to rise 1, and then I'm going to run, and then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. And because I'm going to go to the left, that's going to be negative direction. So I'm running 4 and I'm rising 1. So I rose 1, I ran 4 to the left. So then my rise over run is going to be 1 over -4. So that's my final answer. So my graph, and then, you know, I have to graph that line. All I need to do is just connect these 3 points. And then the one that I didn't have room for is just a little bit underneath. But again, it's going to just fall into that line. Again, do your best to freehand these. You know, this is my final answer. You can do the rise over run. If you don't like that, let me just quickly do the y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So I can think of my second, so this is my one of my coordinates, this is another one of my coordinates. So my y2 is going to be -2 minus -1 all over my x2 minus my x1. So to solve this, remember these just change to a plus sign. So -2 plus 1 is going to be -1. And then 0 plus 4 is 4. So again, I get the exact same answer. It doesn't matter where that negative is, it's still the same. So whatever one you want to do, if you want to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 or rise or run, it's totally up to you. That brings me to the end of this lesson. Thanks for watching.